Florida Gators have already taken down one key opponent in the SEC Eastern Division. They're looking for another one, this time on the road when they go to Kentucky. Got David Waters here from Gators Breakdown to break it down for us. That's what David does when you talk about Florida football. David, how you doing today?
Doing good, Mark. Man, Florida, Kentucky recently has just been one of those weird games. And honestly, I have no idea what to expect. Florida's kind of under Billy Napier been a roller coaster. And this year, in some ways, it's already been a roller coaster, too. You mentioned the big win over Tennessee. So now it's time to take one on the road.
So, yeah, it was a special night in the swamp against Tennessee, and it wasn't a game. Hey, any win would have been a key win for this particular team and for Billy Napier in building a program. But this was a game that wasn't necessarily that close. Florida really shut down the Tennessee offense, which has been difficult for a team to do the last year and a half. So it was a pretty impressive showing.
Yeah, it really was. And there was a lot of pressure, I think, on Billy Napier for the first time, Mark, to just kind of get that win. Not a hot seat pressure or anything, but I think felt, after the loss versus Utah to open up the season, Billy Napier just kind of needed it to kind of get some good feeling going on in Gator Nation. And that's exactly what happened with the big win over Tennessee. So, as you said, defense now 4 games in, and 2 Utah and Tennessee, and then kind of 2 quote unquote cupcakes. But I think we have enough evidence by now. This is a much, much better defense than what we have seen the last few years in Gainesville. So how much can that carry this team as they kind of figure their way out, dealing with some injuries along the offensive line, had some suspensions last week as well, kind of led to a disappointing performance offense against Charlotte, kind of bouncing off that Tennessee game, but the defense has been a constant through 4 games. So hopefully the defense travels on the road, Mark, because the big issue here for Billy Napier, the only win as a Florida head coach on the road is last year at A&M. He's 1-6 on the road right now. So the next step, you got the rivalry win over Tennessee. The next step is to get a big, big road win.
Well, the defense and the run game usually do travel. So let's stay with the defense because, like you say, even in the loss against Utah, 270 yards of total offense for the Utes, 3.5 yards per carry. Like this defense has shown up in every game, coming off a game with 4 sacks, 6 tackles for loss against Charlotte, only gave up 1 touchdown in the first half there. So I'm sure it's been a combination of personnel upgrade, some guys stepping up that weren't necessarily expected to maybe this early, and then the scheme coming together as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, it's youth, and that's the crazy thing about it. You got one of the youngest defensive coordinators in college football, Austin Armstrong, leading this defense, and it's a defense filled with first-year to second-year players that are the best playmakers on the team right now. You got Jordan Castell, a true freshman safety who has really stepped up, might be the best player on the defense right now, and he's a true freshman. He's played the most snaps on defense than any other player on defense right now. Shamar James is a second-year linebacker, and really, really coming out in his second year like we kind of thought he would. And Scooby Williams has emerged at linebacker. I mean, linebacker was a sore spot for years for Florida, and now that's a group they can really, really count on. But all of it comes together because, Florida's what we talked about all offseason is a much deeper, more talented front than they have been. They had to hit the transfer portal to go get Cam Jackson and Caleb Banks, and those 2 guys are really, really paying off. And this is after Justice Boone goes down the preseason with an injury, and Florida has still proven to be pretty deep up front. They had to move Tyreek Sapp over. He's excelled there at the defensive end spot. Princely Human Mielen's creating pressure game in and game out. He seems to be getting better every game. So it's just really a combination of youth and just being so much talented, so much deeper up front. And that was a big question. We knew that was the potential up front, and that's made the whole defense better, but we had to see it with our eyes. We knew they went to the transfer portal to get bodies. We thought they were more talented even after losing Gervon Dexter last year, but now they're so much deeper that guys don't have to play 60 snaps a game. They can break up the snaps throughout the game, and Florida can really go 6-7 deep there along the defensive line and feel really, really comfortable about it. And you've had some emergence of true freshmen like TJ Searcy and Will Norman and coming along, second-year player Chris McClellan. I mean, they're just so much deeper with a lot of young faces up front there for Austin Armstrong.
Got David Waters here, of course, from Gators Breakdown. And so you can do one of two things. You can find your favorite audio platform and catch David's work there with the rest of the crew there at Gators Breakdown on your favorite audio if you want to go that route, or right here on YouTube, of course, Gators Breakdown. When you look
Mark,
at
I got to throw in Kelby Collins. That was the name I was trying to think of.
Okay.
I got to give him his due right there for another true freshman. So
absolutely.